All right, legends. We're live. We are live once again. In 1 minute from now, we have PPI. Started a little bit late, but that's all right. PPI should be out now. Right now. So let's see it. What is PPI? Should work. Where is it? Am I tripping? Jobless claims went up. Continuing claims went down. And then we got some revisions. Zero. Unchanged. Producer prices rise 4.7% year over year. The estimation was 4.9%. July core PPI rose 0.2%. Estimation was 0.3%. And core PPI 4.2%. Estimation was 4.2%. Let's say hello to all of you legends. Good morning, legends. Good morning. Honestly, this data doesn't give that much insight, guys. It's not that meaningful. We've been keeping an eye on SpaceX. Yesterday, we talked about tapping into the downtrending anchored VWAP, which we have officially tapped into. I'd like a little push up again. Bitcoin is just doing its thing, guys. So currently what we're looking at here is we wicked above the downtrending anchored VWAP, which is where we took that initial short on Bitcoin up here in the community. And now we've been rejected from that point a few times. Plus, we've officially lost, for now, the uptrending anchored VWAP. Remember yesterday's live stream, we talked about how we were just effectively compressing? Well, we dropped below the point of control of this range, the big range that we've been in right here. We wicked above it, got rejected. And now we're currently back testing the uptrending anchored VWAP. So this might, like, if we reclaim this, we may actually get another push higher. I know a lot of people are leaning very, very bearish, but I think that we could be in for a surprise. I really, really do. Nothing has effectively changed. We're just chopping around, guys, right? We are literally just chopping around. Got rejected from our key confluence zone at the value area high. Did you take a SpaceX trade? Daniel, if you're in the community, you would know. JC5499, how are you liking SpaceX this morning? So basically, I would like to still see a push up. So that answers two questions. I have not taken the trade, but you can see why these downtrending anchored VWAPs work, because we got that initial rejection. What's the chance Bitcoin hits the 200-day? The 200-day is far up, guys. The 200-day is all the way up to $69,000. So it's pretty high up. I would say the chances are going to be fully based on whether or not we can break above our downtrending anchored VWAP. And right now we're nowhere near there. So reclaim point of control. Let's see. You guys know where I want to go long. We've talked about it in yesterday's live stream. There was a good scalp as well. So basically here is where I'm initially interested. And then we have all the way down here. Value area low of the range. Along with the golden pocket. Along with a big cluster of liquidity. In terms of liquidity, we do have a good amount of liquidity above us. Got a lot of shorts jumping in, a lot of longs jumping in. This is a recipe to squeeze some shorts. Let's see. Hello, Master M. Hello, everyone. Gemma Gov. Lonely here. Boss, hey. Well, I've been at it for a while. I'm early to the stream. Can I get a raise? You know what, Gemma Gov? I think you can get a raise. Here's your raise. I'll make you a moderator. There you go, Gemma Gov. I've given you a raise. You are now a moderator. I think we scoop some downside liquidity first. It's totally possible, but this is, guys, this is not the easiest environment to trade, and not taking a trade is a trade, if that makes sense, if you catch my drift. Based on the data that we just got, I think the probabilities of rate hikes increases. %74% chance by the end of the year, but actually, you know, at the next meeting, it's more likely that there's no change. In October, about 50-50. In December, 74%. So, yeah. Hype is pumping nicely. We were also looking at pump. Stock market opens in 50 minutes from now, guys. I would like to become a moderator too, says Bricks. Well, Bricks, I don't remember your name that much. I see Gemma Gov on every live stream. 63K is where the liquidity sits on the 48-hour. I completely agree. But this zone is really interesting, but there is so much liquidity right above us that it would suggest to me that it's going to be a very interesting affair. This is it's Chop City, guys. It's Chop City. Some of you get annoyed with this kind of price action, and rightfully so. But if you don't have a clear signal to take a good trade, you don't take a trade. Could we be forming another higher low here? It's possible. It is totally possible. You want to see us retest and reclaim the uptrending anchored VWAP. That's what I'm looking for, legends. Otherwise, this is resistance. Got some longs jumping in here, guys. I hope you keep that in mind for why I haven't been making many trades. Yeah, guys, of course. Of course. No one is forcing you to trade. Of course, guys. Capital preservation. at this point. Capital preservation. Can we get a little pump to $64,800? It is possible. SpaceX exploded over the past little bit. And it would have been such a good long because we retested the value area low multiple times. Check this out. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. That's why I scalp a lot of ranging. Yeah, guys, if you're on the lower time frames, this is a good environment to scalp. Like, we're talking really low time frames. But as you know, I am a swing trader. And unless I see some clear-cut scalping opportunities, I'm not talking about the 1 to 5 minute charts. I'm not a gambler, guys. So let's see. For Macron, one of you guys asked, I would like to see us tap into the downtrending anchored VWAP before I can consider a new trade, because this thing is just compressing. And it seems to be a theme. A lot of assets are basically just compressing. Soccer Master, do a poll, higher or lower. Speaking of soccer, or football, I should say, I am playing football this evening. All right, give me a good price range, guys. What do we ask on the poll today? Hype is pumping. We have Bitcoin chopping around, so $67 or $60? Pretty close. Pretty close, legends. Could go to 62, 63 first before pumping to 67. Yeah, if we go to 62.5K, I am highly interested in a new position. Still shorting Bitcoin, still shorting Tau, still holding these positions, guys. $60K first. Oof, we got some bears in the house. Matt, can you please tell us what is... One moment. can you please tell us what is a VWAP? So a VWAP is a volume weighted average price. So what this means is, oh guys, look, we're pumping here. We're pumping a little. So volume weighted average price. We typically get reactions from these kinds of, from the VWAP. So what I typically do with the VWAP is I take it from a significant pivot in the market, such as a local high or a local low. Now, I'll give you an example here. So the VWAP, the reason why it's so great is because you can use it on some of the lower time frames, but you can also use it on the highest of time frames. Check this out, guys. I entered a ridiculously big Bitcoin short right here, right as we're heading into the downtrending anchored VWAP from Bitcoin's all-time high. And when you tap into these levels, they tend to be very significant rejection points on the higher time frames, but they also tend to be very significant support zones if you take it from a local low. So take a look at this. We took the uptrending anchored VWAP from the bear market low so far, 57.7. And a reminder, guys, that's where we went long within the community. I'm still holding on to that trade. Now, every single time that price was trying to break below it in this range since, you know, the end of, or the beginning of July, we managed to hold it as support, as support, as support. And then we popped up higher. And where did we get rejected from? The downtrending anchored VWAP taken from this local high. See how it's a local high in the market? It's very, very simple to use. It requires patience because oftentimes we don't tap into it for a little bit of time. But when we do, check it out again, wick into the downtrending anchored VWAP. It took a while to get there, but what do you know? What is that? $66,900. And where did I enter my most recent Bitcoin short? Average open price, $66,800. So these VWAPs are no joke, no joke. They're very helpful in a trending market, and they should not be ignored, in my opinion. Now, of course, you can use other confluence. We had a lot of liquidity there. Plus, at this time, a lot of people were looking for shorts way up here. Now, what we know is usually if a lot of people are looking for shorts in one specific region, we've been front running that. So this was the first zone to go short. And that's what we did. This was shared within the community as well, guys. Granted, I took too much profits from this trade. We've talked about it before, but it was shared within the community. Still holding on to it. So that's the VWAP. Someone says Bitcoin breakout to $65,800. That would be nice. Honestly, that would be so nice. Amadeus, you've already asked that question, my man. Haha. Dustin Prince says, I've never seen crypto so damn boring in the last 10 years I've been in it. Yeah, guys, if you're actively trading this, it's not super easy, and it is relatively boring. What are your thoughts on Zcash? I think that if the broader market dumps, so will Zcash. I think once the 200 moving average comes down a little closer to 67K, we can easily sweep that level and then go down more for one more final move. That's the thing. Everyone's waiting. So now there's two camps. There's the camp that think that the bear market low is in, we won't go lower. We have the legend Salvador Perez, who thinks so. And we also have the camp that thinks that we're done and we're going to reject from here. What if the real answer is somewhere in the middle? What if we drag on this relief rally? Remember what we discussed when we made the comparison between 2018, 2022, and 2026. 2026 is a beast of its own. We know that historically these bear market relief rallies tend to top out at the latest mid-August, which we're getting very, very close to. It is August 13th. So what if we've already topped out? Or wouldn't the perfect storm be a dump, then a pump to above this level, 66,800, then another dump, right? That would wreck market participants. That's why we have to be ready for all scenarios here as traders. #28World says he is long on hype. The thing with hype is, I mean, if you're long from the lows, awesome trade, obviously. But I would keep my eyes on the previous all-time high, plus the downtrending anchored VWAP from the all-time high. The all-time high. For a potential rejection. Yeah, institutions came and volatility dries up a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I still think crypto provides some phenomenal trading opportunities. Right now, legends, right ahead of the stock market open, we are reclaiming the downtrending anchored VWAP. The uptrending anchored VWAP, my apologies. Check it out, check it out. Let's see, let's see. Come on, I want SpaceX to give me one more tap. Maybe I don't get lucky. Was eyeing SpaceX at higher levels also, but FOMO'd a little now at 148. Got a weird feeling it will drop. I think that if it will experience a rejection, it would be from this zone, right? We have some people in yesterday's live stream that talked about, you know, the 153-ish zone. And the reason, guys, is not only is it the downtrending anchored VWAP from the all-time high, this is, you know, a new stock, right? So it doesn't have that much history. So it is a little bit riskier to trade in general, but this could be a classic support resistance flip. So check it out. See how we've tapped into this level multiple times? I would imagine that even if SpaceX is going to go higher, it will experience a little bit of difficulties here in this box, right? IPO price was what, 150? So it makes sense. It makes sense. Soccer Master, I already gave you my thoughts on Zcash. I think that it will dump if the rest of the market dumps. Honestly, not much is happening for Zcash here. Any shitcoin you've been eyeing? No, not at all. Guys, I've been chilling. Look at the chart of Bitcoin bottom 62K, then look at the SpaceX chart exactly the same on the 26th of August. Random question, did you ever play RuneScape? I actually didn't, funny enough. Matsir, do you think dates matter on the charts? I always seem to find that we confirm that crash for the month based on the 15th of each month, May 15th, August 15th, and so on, so on. Yeah, it's interesting, right? It's interesting. These dates, like halfway through the month, beginning of the month, end of the month, they do tend to mark pivots. I don't pay attention to them that much, but it's true. It's true, Stoic Tang, that they can mark pivots in the markets and confirmations. Stock market's still grinding up a little bit higher here. Let's see, we got 30 minutes until the stock market opens. Bitcoin is pumping ahead of the stock market open again. So let's see, guys. Chop, chop, chop. And Legends, you'll have to bear with me today. Yesterday we did a 6-hour live stream. Today it will not be that long. We're just going to try to find some opportunities in this market. Hopefully I can take a trade or two if I see the opportunities I like. Right now is August. August is still up 1% on Bitcoin. Are you following Man United in the off-season? Thoughts on their transfer activity, or better say lack of? Also a fan, and they keep frustrating in that area. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, man. It's a little bit annoying. And I'm worried, because you know, whenever you get a new manager, you get that uplift. I'm worried that if we don't get new signings, that uplift with Carrick might kind of dwindle down. But at least we started playing a lot more attractive football, right? Can you check the XRP charts? If we break below $1, you say. If we break below $1, you're saying it's a good short, like there's nothing. I mean, guys, like, I know I joke about XRP a lot, right? And I know there's a lot of XRP bulls, but what I will say is this is not the worst chart in crypto. Like, it's kind of okay. This isn't me supporting XRP because I still think it's a shit coin, but I have seen way worse charts in crypto. And when we've already been dumping like this, I don't think I'd be looking for a short, to be honest. Just my thoughts. I'd be looking for more something like this over maybe an extended period where maybe we start like bottoming out a little bit. Just my thoughts. I'm happy to trade XRP, but I won't hold it. I'm not... I actually posted something the other day. I thought it was hilarious. I found on my Twitter. We have the modern investor here saying XRP is going to $28 a coin. I mean, I don't know, man. I tend to disagree. King David says XRP is the most successful scam coin ever. Can you check Injective? I don't really want to check Injective because it's been performing like shit, guys. Look, I don't want this channel, I don't want this live stream to just be me checking altcoins, because at the end of the day, like, this thing has just been bleeding horribly, right? If I go on the monthly, does it look good? Looks terrible. Looks terrible. This is absolutely horrible. Can we hold on to the bull market support band? Can we maybe flip it and then see continuation? It's possible, but, you know, measure your coin against Bitcoin. And if your coin severely underperforms Bitcoin, it's a waste of time. The one thing I will say, guys, when these coins tend to reclaim the bull market support band, it can actually provide movement to the upside. I'm not saying I'm bullish on Injective, but when you get a pop-up and a retest of the bull market support band, assuming you can hold back above, this might actually provide some decent movement. Because you can see we struggle at the bull market support band the whole way down in the bull markets. In the bull market. But when you pop above and then you try to hold it as support, it actually looks kind of okay. For a short-term play, would never hold this for years. That's just silly. Most YouTubers just be to the moon in alts. You know what's interesting, guys? I think this cycle, you know how last cycle I was very bearish on altcoins, and rightfully so. I think I saved a lot of people a lot of money, and I saved myself money by not being bullish on alts because they severely underperformed. This cycle, funny enough, as everyone finally accepts that altcoins are shit and they give up on altcoins, this cycle might actually be a decent cycle for alts. Now, specifically, I've talked about hype before. I'm not someone that wants to hold something like Solana. I've talked about this before as well, because Solana will likely continue bleeding against Bitcoin. If you look at Solana's Bitcoin chart. So I think we had our period of outperformance, and actually you can see my drawing here. Check it out. So I think that, you know, we outperformed Bitcoin, and now I think that this trend could continue, although we are trying to hold on to the bull market support band. So there are some alts that I'll actually dabble in a little bit more, for sure. Now Bitcoin has, on the 1 hour, reclaimed its uptrending anchored VWAP, and we're also getting a little bit of a test towards that 200-week moving average. If we can reclaim that, then we actually look decent for a little push higher here, guys. Let's see. And then maybe I take another cheeky scalp short. AVAX, someone mentioned AVAX. Guys, I already know what the AVAX chart looks like. It looks fucking horrible. Apologies for my language. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not laughing at you if you're holding this. I'm just... This is pretty bad, guys. In the community, on the YouTube channel, I have been steering clear of alts. And again, legends, at the bare minimum, you want to see us reclaim the bull market support band. And when you're hovering below it, this is horrific. Horrific. This is like one of the worst charts you could have asked me to put up. Look at that. Terrible, 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 terrible. Terrible. Stock market opens in 18 minutes. Someone says, you don't think Sol... Someone said Pyth Bitcoin. I'm assuming if you're saying that, it should be okay, right? Guys, come on. Why are we wasting our time with stuff like this? Could this be a little bit of a retest? Yeah. Could it provide a pump? Yeah. But legends, look at this. Okay, we're not... If we've talked about this before on the channel, there's only a few coins that actually look okay against Bitcoin. I think number 1 was Hype. Number 2 was TRX. Number 3 was BNB. So if you want to know what a good chart looks like against Bitcoin, this is one of them. Check it out. And I actually think that newer altcoins will outperform. I think the chain links of this world, unfortunately, the chart looks terrible. And I am someone that charts before I consider the fundamentals. Then we have TRX, TRX BTC. Check this out, guys. This one's actually more impressive than I think most people give it credit for. It doesn't really get talked about, but check this out. Recently, over the past, since 2020, it's basically just been outperforming Bitcoin. Since 2020, this one has outperformed Bitcoin, is up on its Bitcoin pair by almost 700%. Now we have to remember that altcoins can oscillate, and what oscillating means is basically just ranging around. So if we assume that this is the range low and up here is the range high, it may suggest that we reject relatively soon, maybe in 2027, if this is to continue. I think BNB is a similar story. That's a lovely chart, guys. Still holding up against Bitcoin. If in 2020 you held BNB instead of Bitcoin, yes, we had a higher peak, but you would have outperformed Bitcoin. Let's say you were still holding, you would have outperformed Bitcoin by over 860%. So that's what you want to look for. And this is, but again, we have to consider that maybe this is the range high that we've established. So this is why I like something like Hype. Because it is new, I mean, what if this is Operation Fill the Wick? What if, it's so new that we cannot say with any amount of confidence that this is the range high. So if Bitcoin dumps and the whole broader crypto market dumps, again, this is one of those alts that I am personally interested in. I like how they have their dashboard like this. It is highly interesting for me. You can see the buy pressure. I really, really like what they're building. So yeah, that's it. Measure your altcoin against Bitcoin and make a reasonable decision on whether or not it's an altcoin that you should consider. The Real PG 777 says Hype. I agree. Link. Guys, Link looks terrible. Why would you say Link? Guys, I know, everyone's going to say, but the fundamentals of Chainlink. Legends. Maybe you assume that this is a higher low. Maybe we reclaim this and then we pop higher. But realistically, guys, if you held Chainlink since 2020 instead of Bitcoin, you have underperformed holding Bitcoin. It's down 95% on its Bitcoin pair. So, doesn't matter how you feel about a coin. If it underperforms, it underperforms. This is 6 years of underperformance. Maybe we hold up. Pre-market for SpaceX is sitting at 144.5, and yesterday we went all the way up to 150. We got, technically speaking, that rejection at the downtrending anchored VWAP from the all-time high within this zone, but I would like to see another spike up for me to consider entering a position. Yeah, let's see. Legends, if you want to join the community, remember you do have the first link in the description down below. If you DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram, you'll get access to my group. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. I would highly recommend you join if you haven't already. Gemma Gov, here's the thing. There are many cool crypto projects, but many times the underlying coin doesn't really bring anything to the table. I agree. There's so many good crypto projects that don't need a coin. So, you know, most 99% of the coins in crypto projects are created to make the founders rich. That's the reality of altcoins, guys. Can you make money speculating on upside? Yes, of course. But bag holding is a thing of the past. Retesting the uptrending anchored VWAP right now as we speak. Hey, that's cool that you got Kraken as a partner exchange. I didn't know that. Yeah, Legends, if you are already trading on Kraken, you can join my community by simply DMing me on Telegram. And if you go through the options, you say, I'm already trading on another exchange, Kraken will pop up as an option. And if you're already trading on Kraken, it's really simple. You share your public UID, which is basically just like an account identifier. See here on Bluffin, I have these numbers, UID. It basically just allows me to know that that's your public ID and we can transfer you under my referral, meaning you keep your account as it is. If you're used to trading on Kraken, even better, guys. So nothing has to change. And then you get access to the community as well. We're also going to try to launch some more campaigns with Kraken, but yeah, you have it down below. And if you want to just join and make a new Kraken account on here, and you haven't been trading on Kraken, you can also do that if you'd like. You know that Bluffin is my go-to though, but I really like Kraken as well. I've added it because you guys were asking for it. That's literally the only reason. So many people were asking about Kraken. Where did you take the uptrending anchored VWAP from? Mine shows it's still closing candles below. Maybe I'm tripping, but wait, one sec. Sorry. Purchase media, my man. Sorry. I'm on the 5-minute chart. Let me check again. You might be right. Yeah, you are correct. What was I looking at? You are correct. We are currently below the level now. One moment. But no, we were testing it, not like literally minutes ago. Now we're below the level. What was I looking at on the 5-minute? Why did it show multiple lines? What is that? What is that? Can anyone tell me why it's showing 2 lines? This is why you don't dabble with the 5-minute chart. Maybe it was showing the point of control. But no, we are testing it. Look, right now we're below it. So basically, I took it from the low of the bear market, purchase media. So that's it. From 57.7K, that's where I started my uptrending anchored VWAP. Sahal, please, if possible, do anything which works in India. Sahazl 4459. I can tell you that there are people in India that have joined my community. So I'm not sure, you know, I can't give you advice based on your location, but there are several people from India that have joined my community. So, JLQ07CS. I'm not thinking that it will go higher. I am hoping that it will go higher. That's valid. That's valid. Stock market opens in 5 minutes, legends. Now we're trying to hold it. Joe Live. Hi, Matt. Hello. Chop City. Three minutes. Long time 102. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for doing the live stream after 6 hours yesterday. Of course, my man. Today is probably going to be 3 to 4 at most. But yeah. I know today is live stream day, so we got to do it. We got to do it. We've been at it already for an hour, which is crazy. Time flies. The market looks shaken and many are falling out. Hope we will stand because you leading. I think we can drop before we go higher when the market opens. Ben, I am kind of new to crypto trading. Do you think if I join the community, I'm able to learn trading skills to grow my account separately and to not rely on anyone long term? I do. I do. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for doing dump or pumps. Do you have any ideas where it may go if it pumps? I would be looking at the downtrending anchored VWAP. Sir, how far can Solana go in the next bull market? Your guess is as good as mine. Hi, sir. $400. Pretty annoyed with this. Come on, give us a pump, man. Stock market is officially open, guys. Regarding your potential SpaceX short, are you waiting for another push due to remaining liquidity and weekly naked point of control just above the current high? Precisely. I'd rather have the confirmation, but let's see. Let's see. Hey Matt, do you stream every day? Hey guys, my schedule is as follows. This is usually what I do. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I do a stream. I start around 12 p.m. UTC. That's in the description down below, by the way. Video updates on Wednesdays and Sundays. Fridays, to be determined. So Fridays, either I do a live stream or I do a video. I kind of just decide. Wednesday, this week, we did a live stream because we had inflation data. And today we had some more inflation data. Tomorrow, it will be a video update. Stock market is pumping. You have the perfect streaming vocal tone, calm and relaxing. Appreciate you, Jason Martin. Feels like the bottom is not in narrative has spread on my Twitter over the past month. Lots of people calling for a new dump. Like, that's the thing. That has been spreading a lot. And, you know, it's interesting because I think that this is an opportunity to chop out a lot of people that are already saying that we're just going to dump massively. Don't get me wrong, and I need to keep reiterating this, my friends. I am in absolutely ginormous Bitcoin shorts. I have around 800K in realized and unrealized profits from my shorts. My positions are massive. However, I would prefer if we went higher. I genuinely would. It provides a better risk to reward from a trading standpoint for a short. And it would shake out so many market participants that are absolutely confident that we won't pump. On the 6-month time frame, we technically have more upside liquidity. Check this out. 21 billion upside, 19 or 20 billion downside. Usually when you get a massive dump, what we've noticed in the bear market is that it's when there's so much long leverage and almost no one wants to short because they think, okay, it's really going to go higher. We're pushing now. We're pushing now. We're pushing now. The bottom is in. We're really going to go higher. We have Ansem coming out and saying that it's a confirmed bottom. And then we just dump massively and grab all of the downside liquidity with very little upside liquidity. But because there are a lot of people saying that the bottom is not in, and I personally don't think the bottom is in, I would like to see us get a little bit of a squeeze higher to flush these guys out of the market before I can add to my big swing shorts. Those are my thoughts, guys. Those are my thoughts. Bitcoin's getting a decent move here. 5-minute chart, take it with a grain of salt. Macau, my man, welcome. My man. Stock market, woof, look at that. Look at that nice pump higher. Shall we make an all-time high is the question. We're not that far away, guys. Are you still considering a SpaceX short? Yes, I am. Man, if we pumped to 68K then dumped hard, it would be brutal. Absolutely, it would be terrible. We would take all of that upside liquidity, basically. Obviously, there's still some above at 80K, but I don't think we make it that far. And then I think a lot of longs would also pile in. That's a nice 5-minute candle. In fact, that's a nice 15-minute candle. Check that out. If we can pop back above here, this looks pretty solid. Matsir, we're pumping all day today and tomorrow. Look at that. Pump it, baby. Pump it. Yo, what's up? No way. Kira Yagami, 87. No way. Man, it feels like it's been, what? Months since I've seen you on the channel. Fierce Wall, yes. I would say that the Mind Pillar liquidation map is probably more accurate. I'm short NVIDIA at 230 if it rejects the level. Let's see. Oh, wow. Big squeeze. Yeah, I see the logic. I see the logic. I see the logic. Makes sense. You know, previous, when we had that open, plus we've been rejected from there multiple times. Yeah, I see the logic. Okay, yesterday someone made an interesting observation that this same 4-hour candle the one that we're creating right now, has a massive rejection for the past 3 days in a row. Do we try to trade that live on stream? Because check it out. Monday. Check the timestamp at the bottom of my screen. Massive rejection. Tuesday. Massive rejection. Wednesday. Massive rejection. I think that there's a chance that we can actually hold up around this zone. But what if we get another massive rejection? Could be interesting. Where's that local upside liquidity? Greetings from Norway, feels E30. Haha, right? Had to look for a job at McDonald's. Crazy how you remember a lot of people's names. Yeah, I mean, if I interact with you on a daily basis, of course I will remember. I just remember that Kira was commenting, Kira Yagami 87 was commenting on the channel a lot, like 2-3 months ago. It's just, I don't know, some names just stick out a little bit more. Almost all-time high on S&P. Oof. Guys, we got 10 more dollars. All-time high for the S&P. What's with me? Do you know me? Peter, I think I've recognized your name, but to be honest, anyone that has like a underscore 10.11, I actually think I would remember. And so maybe you haven't been commenting that much, Peter. Hype is pumping. Well, of course, if Bitcoin is pumping, then hype will pump as well. What time did the rejection occur in the past few days? It would be on this candle, but I'm not that convinced because this is a nice looking 1 hour candle. Let's see. It would be on this candle, this 1 hour candle, which closes in the next 15 minutes. So what you would look for is maybe this. If it is to occur. We're just speculating here, guys. Good morning. Summer Chop thesis playing out well this year compared to last year. Yeah. I do agree that the market is pretty cooked. How are we looking on hype? Did people pile into longs yet? Oh, we got a lot of shorts on hype, guys. That is interesting. Very, very interesting. So if I wanted to short hype, I would only really consider it if we hit the downtrending anchored VWAP. Because of the liquidity that's been piling up, it would be from here. You see how these levels react though? Check it out. You get at least a reaction at the level. Even if you pump up higher afterwards, you always get a reaction. Even here, see we broke below, tried to hold, wick, can't manage to break above the downtrending anchored VWAP taken from the all-time high. So another retest of this would be interesting at 63.61. Where is my trajectory? No. Man. I have to redraw it now. Stock market looks primed. It's gonna happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. I prefer my heat map because I use it and because it's the one that we built. All-time high watch party for stocks. Guys, $2. $2. Come on. So much liquidity there. So much liquidity just above 64. So if we look at SpaceX, something to consider is that we are trying to hold above this previous pivot. So that's 143.33. We're hovering right above it. Let's see, guys. Let's see. I'm a little bit annoyed. Normally, with stocks, I find that you can get multiple taps on the anchored VWAP, but we got the one tap yesterday, and this is what I was looking for a trigger. So, let's see. Does the reversal happen from here? Abu Zain says, I'm in the USA. Matsir, I'm getting a warning from Bluffin saying that my IP is... What can I do? I can't give you advice based on your location, but what I will say, Abu Zain, is I'm pretty sure Kraken should work for you. And I think Kraken has like bank integrations in the US. I think. Hey bro, I'm from your Telegram group. What do you think about Pump? I would like to short it. I think I would like to short it as well, actually. What is going on, man, with these? I'd like to see something like this. Maybe we get a bounce, a retest of here. Let's just... Because my big longing level is down here. So what I would look for would be perhaps a push, then a drop, then maybe back testing this as resistance. Like something crazy like that. I think that this would be absolutely brutal for most people if this were to happen. Because you can imagine how negative everyone will get if Bitcoin gets back to the value area low and below. So, let's see. Did we hit all-time highs? All-time highs hit for the stock market, legends. Oof. No. No, guys. Oh. I know some of you already took the trade because of the downtrending anchored VWAP. Fuck. Give me another test, please. Wow. Would you look at that? Comfortably above all-time highs. This pains me. Already down 5%. With leverage, this would have been a really good one. I know some of you take the trade when I talk about it, but the rejection occurred yesterday. I really thought that we would get another top. Let's see. Let's see. Right now, especially if you're in the community, I got some messages of some of you that took the trade. But right now, legends, if this gets acceptance below 143.3 and continues to close below there, this thing could puke. Bitcoin is going to dump with market correction. Oh my gosh. This is why I say you have to be able to make your own decisions in the market as well. Sometimes I miss trades, guys. I know a lot of members in the group took this trade. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe we get fortunate enough to hover around the highs a little bit more. But this is a pretty decent move already with leverage. Position could be protected. Let's see. We have some shorts entering, so there's a chance we pop up. Check it out. Wow. Exactly, Martin Roblox. Hey Matt, I have a trading setup on Tesla on the 1-day time frame, VWAP from 138 low. Let's take a look. $138 low. $138 low, $138 low, 152, 138. So this one. See, I have mine there, but they can all provide reactions. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's not invalid. You reclaim it. But for me, Tesla, someone asked about it yesterday. My key thing is this was a rejection point, and this was a classic resistance support flip. Look at the wick. So it would have been much more favorable, in my opinion, to get an entry right there. Check it out. If you wanted to long Tesla on this pullback, it would have been right here. This is like the simplest way to chart, right? Yes, you can assume that we're reclaiming the uptrending anchored VWAP, and this can provide a push higher, but the best risk to reward entry would have been right here. My man, no sound. Guys, are you sure? I can hear myself. It looks to be working on my stream. I think you're just... I'm not talking. One thing I need to check, guys, with the sound is I think the mic picks up the music and it doesn't sound as crisp. So the music is really loud on my side, but not super loud for you guys. So I feel like I'm yelling. Did you enter SpaceX trade? Guys, if you're in my community, you would know. The time to enter was here, but I would like to see if we can get a retest. If we can reconfirm right here, maybe we pop back up. I would love to see a pop back up and then a bloop. But let's see. Let's see. Pretty epic though. I entered at 149. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, what's below? You have been telling me this, but I'm not sure. In OBS, can I change the settings? Let me check this out now. Audio. Global audio. Desktop audio disabled. Wait, I'm changing it, guys. Bear with me here. How's that? No, it's the audio is coming from there, but the mic itself. No, I don't think it's working because I feel like when I talk now, I'm not getting on the mic. Testing. What do we think, guys? Is it better or is it worse? Better or worse? Sounds the same. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's it's mainly the music, right? You never hear the music very loud. Let's see. I think your voice is slightly louder. Okay. Sound okay, just saying. Some people in chat want precise surround sound from YouTube. I mean, guys, I invest a lot of money in my equipment, so I kind of, yeah, I kind of want the sound to be the best it can be. You should hear me on the mic, but when I play music, you should be retrieving it from the computer, because the computer speaker is really solid. All right, guys, we're getting a push up here for Bitcoin. We're getting a push up. Nice. Pump it. Pump it. Give me that push to... How are the orders looking? A lot of longs jumping in. We got some shorts. Maybe there's some bullish CVD divergence. There's a lot here. I'll just measure. Yeah, Luke Draco, I will do that. For sure. All right, all right. Let's send it. Guys, if you want to join the community and see when I take my next big trade, remember you do have the first link in the description down below. If you DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram, you're able to join. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and overall market analysis. Now we're well above all-time highs for stocks. SpaceX getting that little bit of a correction. Macron getting towards that anchored VWAP. I want to see something. See how it reacts? Of course, sometimes you can pop up, but this is like, guys, this is 2024, right? I really like the downtrending anchored VWAP. It does tend to act as resistance until we inevitably break through. But see, you hit it, and yes, sometimes you pop above, but overall, It is very helpful. Abu Zain, you can sign up with the link in the description down below, my man. How are you, brother? CPI data didn't seem to do much. Routing would have went this way regardless based on liquidity routing, or am I still early for that news? Yeah, it makes sense, man. Yeah. Golden pocket as well. It's not instructions. Abu Zain, it's very, very simple. Click this link in the description down below. And then you can set up your Kraken account there. Just click it. Sign up now. We're reclaiming the uptrending anchored VWAP right now. Bro, do you invest in altcoins? I guess your question is, bro, do you gamble in altcoins? And the answer is no. I feel like calling altcoins investments is saying that altcoins are investments. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Please repeat questions you're being asked, more easy to answer. Yeah, I guess I have to, I'll just pop the chat up here. I have Bluffin account under another YouTuber referral link. How to change it if I want to join your VIP group? Unfortunately, we used to be able to change it, but now you cannot do that anymore. So you have to make a new account. The good thing is, guys, is you get the best bonuses in the industry if you do sign up with me down below, and you get access to the group. And if you're actually trading, you do get that Mind Pillar trader access as well. So that's not something to ignore. It's not that difficult to make a new account, guys, and just make it your go-to. Stocks still ripping. Alts are hot potatoes. Short and long are not gamble. QC Porto, if you think that what I'm doing every day on the stream, because I know you join, right? I recognize your name. If you think that what I'm doing every day on the stream is gambling, it's not, right? It's not. It's strategic. Trading is strategic. Is there an element of luck in trading? Of course there is, and any trader worth their salt will tell you that. For example, if I enter a trade with a 3-to-1 risk to reward, and it ends up being a 10-to-1 risk to reward, of course there was an element of luck in that. However, if you can understand the probabilistic nature of trading, it's for you. If you can't, and you approach trading as you would approach gambling, then maybe you should be doing something else. If Matsur is gambling, he has the absolute best luck I've seen. Speaking of which, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely enjoy having fun at the casino from time to time, but I have never done online gambling because I think that that's a very, very dangerous thing to do. If I go to the casino, it's usually a couple times a year with some friends, and I go in person and I have a great time, and whatever money I start with, I am fully prepared to lose. My goal at the casino is obviously to make the money last and have a great time. So that's gambling. That's gambling. This is not gambling. When you get such strong reactions at levels that have been predefined, that have been highlighted, it's, I mean, you can call it gambling if you want, but are you planning on shorting Macron? I may actually. Casino is fun until you leave the casino. Do you know people in Dubai who make money living out of prediction markets? Not personally, no. Most of the really successful people in crypto in Dubai that I know are traders. I'm counting cards. Bro, it's a relief every day I drive to work. I turn on a YouTube phone and I see your podcast. I feel so calm and relaxed listening. Honestly, that's all I need. I don't want to listen to any other YouTubers. Champ Motors, my man. My man. I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you find my streams calming. Matsur, so true, man. Crypto casinos so dangerous. New York City don't have good in person. Down over 250K in Roulette last year. Please be careful. That's crazy. I mean, it's all relative, right? If you are a multi-millionaire, multi-millionaire, and you can afford to lose that kind of money, then, you know, you just write it off as a loss. And that's your play money. But if that is way more money than you can afford to lose, that's when it becomes very dangerous, right? Thanks for the stream. Off to cycling. Martin Roblox, my man. Same. I listen while I work. There are no casinos in Dubai. It's haram. Yes, but they're actually planning on potentially building one. I stick to the plans as I've learned the hard way. Bitcoin, ETH, stocks I know safer for me. Fair. DeFi crypto boss, as I'm going to work, I'm thinking, damn, I want freedom like you have. I'm pushing towards it. You will get there, man. You will get there. It's just, again, I've talked about this before, but trading is amazing because it opens your eyes to how incredible it is, the phenomenon of taking your money and turning it into more money. Hi Matt, have you checked Pump Fund already? Not sure if you've already covered it since I stepped out for a few minutes. Yeah, I had the chart open, but we're pumping a little here. What are your plans for collabs with other creators in the future? I don't know, guys. Haven't thought about it. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of collabs. A lot of the times it seems like, you know, for lack of a better term, they get on the channel, and if they don't have good chemistry, then I find that the collabs are rather boring. And you know, I'd like to do some collabs with some smart people. Perhaps Benjamin Cowan, for example. That would be a really cool one to do. Last time I did a couple of collabs, some of you liked it, but some of you didn't. I did a collab with Andy and Devolt from Mindpillar. We had a great collab, and I love those guys, so I'm happy to do collabs with them. But just in general, like, I can count on one hand the amount of creators in the crypto space that I actually respect and that I actually like. I wish you could see who watches the stream the most. I bet I'd place J Tinman. I mean, J Tinman, I see you all the time. So you don't have like-minded friends? Of course I do. But they don't have audiences, right? And that's the thing with collabs. The idea behind collabs is you do collaborations with people that are around the same size audience, and so you can benefit from the growth because you're sharing audience, right? If I do a collab with someone, then you'll naturally go out and check their channel, and then you decide if it's up to you that if you like them. And so that's kind of how it works. Who's going to the ITC conference? Bro, your Instagram handle. Bro, I do not share my personal Instagram handle. If you listen to Cowan, you would be rich right now. I mean, I've been talking about him for a very long time, guys. He doesn't trade the market like I do, though. He just buys spot. Nothing wrong with that, but I like trading with leverage. I got to know you from the Altcoin Daily channel. Yeah, this one I always laugh about because I had a good interview with them, but they also gave me a really good promotion in terms of, like, you know, trading the market. And then people came to my channel and I started shitting on altcoins, which is ironic because the channel is called Altcoin Daily. What do you think about the Altcoin Daily channel and analysis? I think that the Altcoin Daily channel is a channel for retail. What do you think to short at 64K? Let's see if Bitcoin can squeeze up here, guys. I'd like to see that local liquidity grabbed. I might actually, what I would do is I wouldn't enter a new short. I would consider adding to my existing short. Let's see. Found you from Altcoin Daily. I found you from Altcoin Daily. Nice, nice, nice. I'm just confused why Bitcoin isn't moving yet. I'm not sure why you're confused, my man. MU is pumping. Yeah, I mean, if it just pumped through this, then... Hype is reclaiming the 200 moving average on the 4-hour timer. Do you think potential long setup it would be? Hell yeah, pump that Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin pumping? Nice. So right now, we're technically reclaiming the... We've reclaimed the uptrending anchored VWAP on the 1 hour. We still have an hour and a half left until the 4-hour close. Now Bitcoin is going. Now Bitcoin is going. Come on. What was the line you drew for Macron? The line I drew for Macron is a local high. Come on. Yeah, you know what, guys? So I tend to agree with Stoic here. When you look at the structure of this chart, and also I think Save the Republic USA also said the same thing. Basically, that we're reclaiming the anchored VWAP. I tend to agree in the sense of, see over here, guys, how we had a pump, we got rejected, and we created a lower low. Then we pumped, got rejected. This was a good shorting opportunity at that downtrending anchored VWAP. However, here, since this low, we have not managed to create a lower low. So there's no shift here in the market, meaning that I tend to agree that entering a short here is probably risky. Just my thoughts. I agree with you, Stoic. We're also now back above the point of control, or we're trying to make it back above. Let's see. If we get a massive top wick, then I may enter. We're at the 200 week. This is a big zone, guys, where there's a lot of confluence. And remember, we actually talked about this in the last stream. We've been compressing between two anchored VWAPs, the downtrending anchored VWAP and the uptrending anchored VWAP. And we're still between them. We had some wicks to the upside, we had a couple of closes below, but wicking right back, and now we're in between two zones. So in other words, Bitcoin is still compressing, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Hi, Matt. There's a death cross for Bitcoin at the weekly chart. What do you think? Usually these things, like usually after a death cross, like it's already played out. You dump into the death cross and then you start pumping afterwards. When you get a golden cross, you tend to pump into it and then you may get a rejection after. So these things tend to get priced in as they are actually happening. This will pop either way, just not sure the direction yet. Yeah. Will you go short or long? I will let you know in the community if I decide to take a trade. Kali Compiler, same, brother, same. I'm so... this fucking pisses me off. Excuse my language, guys. Literally in the community, I talked about how we would likely experience rejection here. And we got the perfect rejection. I'm happy that when I share my analysis, some of you can make your own decisions in this market. Because that's what I always say. Don't just blindly copy me. But now, if you enter this trade, number one, you can already take profits. Number two, your stop loss can probably be at break even. Not financial advice, of course. I'm not a financial advisor, but when I point out the levels and they play out like this, it's annoying if I personally missed it. And so far I have missed it. It was always going to be a potential rejection point. Look at how well it reacts to the level. Anyways. Yeah, see? Took it, Matt. Yummy. Legends, if you're in the community, let me know if you ended up taking this trade. I'm really curious because I got maybe 15 DMs or so in the past 12 hours of people that took it and said, yes, like awesome trade. And I'm just here waiting for a retest when maybe one tap is all she wrote. Yeah, I see a couple of you. Fat Elvis got in at 148.5, which is perfectly at the anchored VWAP. What a legend. What a legend. This is why I'm saying, guys, you need to make sure that you can make your own decisions in this market as well. I will point things out and then sometimes not take the trades, but it's up to you to be able to take the trade because you make your own decisions with your own capital. Matthew Klim says SpaceX will be the greatest investment of our lifetime. Perhaps, and I'm bullish on SpaceX long term, but this was always going to be a zone where we reject from. This is where the luck factor comes in, right? You guys were asking about luck. If you enter a trade like this, of course you hope that we just absolutely puke if you've shorted this. Maybe we don't, maybe we chop around. But the luck factor would be you come down, you pop back up, and then you get a massive rejection towards, 124, 125. Maybe we even revisit the lows of the range. Although this was a very good triple tap for a long. So usually when you get such a strong reaction, you don't have to come all the way back down. But that's where the luck element comes in. You can, if you entered here, you TP here because this was a recent pivot. Next TP zone would be right around here, 138-ish. And then you can do value area low, or sorry, value area high, uptrending anchored VWAP, point of control, value area low. But the luck element would be like if this becomes, you do something like this, where basically it turns into, let's assume you entered at the downtrending anchored VWAP. You have your stop at let's say 155, 154, because this was the recent pivot that I had marked. And, you get a 5-to-1 risk to reward or something like that. Absolutely epic. QC Porto say that's why I say it's a form. It's not a form of QC Porto, my man. If you're not a trader, then just say you're not a trader, my guy. It's not a form of gambling. Is there an element of luck? Yes. But the actual entries and stuff, as long as you have proper risk management, trading is one of the best ways to make consistent profits over time, not financial advice. Man, look at it go. Well, I hope you guys made money. I'm just going to share it in the group. Sub 140 now? Now let's see. Yeah, guys, this is above the anchored VWAP, so there's no trade to be taken here. Wow. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm just typing something to the group. Slightly bullish on BTC. There's a guy, follow Julian Petrula's insane swing trader. There are levels to this. Yeah, isn't that guy has so much money though, and he doesn't use leverage, right? Lazar Downey, I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't he just does he actually swing trade? Because I know like that guy has way more capital than I have. I think he has like is his net worth 100 mil, or is it like somewhere between not quite there? Anyways, Anyways, I just sent a quick message in the group. Look, I get it. I get it, guys. People want to join the group and they want to be spoon-fed. They want to be absolutely spoon-fed. And for the most part, I do that. But you don't need me, guys, especially if you're part of the group right now and you're watching the stream. You need to be able to think for yourself, right? Because I got some DMs now saying, bro, like, I missed it. Why didn't you take the trade? Guys, you can use your own noggin as well, right? I would consider myself sharing a chart like this and saying that I'm interested in a short as spoon feeding. I also talked about it when SpaceX was like down here. So look, you have to be able to manage your own capital. You make your own decisions in this market. That's why I always say, even though I post all of my trades, active trades within my community, it's not financial advice, because you have to be smart enough to make your own decisions in this market. You have to understand the risk that you're taking on trades. All I can really do is point out the levels, and if I take the trade, I take the trade. I, of course, always share when I do. So we got a nice pump here on Micron, and we're still above the anchored VWAP. So to me, let's see. Guys, think for yourselves. Exactly. All right. So what's going on with Bitcoin? This is the candle, my friends. This is the candle. Let's take a look at the CVD. Longs jumping in, some shorts. We tapped into the previous day value area high on this footprint chart. Got that local liquidity to the upside. Let's go on the 5 minutes, see if there's any divergences. Mainly the bullish CVD has been playing out here. Because yes, CVD has been increasing on this rally, but it hasn't been, see here, it still hasn't crossed above yet. If we start popping above here, then it becomes interesting. But due to the fact that there is so much liquidity just above 64, it makes it a little bit tricky to consider entering a short trade here. I would want to see like a something like that. Legends, if you want to see my community, what I'm all about, how I've been trading this market, remember to just DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram. It's where you get access to all of my insights in this market. Stoic says, good, you're learning. My man, come on. How are you going to come on a trader's stream and say, good, you're learning? The audacity. You know, that I love those kinds of sarcastic comments. Like genuinely, I'm saying I love them because that's exactly how I talk with my friends. So like for example, we'll be playing some tennis, and we'll be 3 of us that'll go and play, and we rotate. So we do King's Court, and basically one of the guys will win a match, or I'll use me as an example. I'll win a match, and then I'll say, once the next guy comes on the court, I'll say, don't worry, you'll be back on in a minute. It won't take too long to beat him. Or I'll say something like cheeky. I love those comments. Yeah, we're just chopping around here. This isn't where I would want to take a long, but this isn't where I would want to take a short, to be honest, guys. That's exactly how I talk to women, says Stoic. I mean, to be fair, same. It works. It works. In most circumstances. A really bullish sign here for stocks would be if we retest this level, this all-time high, and we still hold above. That would be very, very interesting. Oh, Stoic, I thought you were talking to me. I'm just reading the comments now. But anyways, that's how I talk to my friends. It's just hilarious, especially when you're just chatting shit and you're playing sports in particular. Like, it's like, I love it. I love that. All day. Now we're talking about things outside of crypto. Daniel asks, how much spot Bitcoin do you have to hold to be considered attractive to women in Dubai? Guys, I met my girlfriend not in Dubai. So there's that to consider. Rick Ty is messaging me on Telegram. Matt, who is your all-time favorite tennis player? Roger Federer? Guys, the thing is, if you're talking specifically about trophies, it's not Roger. However, you're saying favorite. The key word is favorite. And there is no one that makes tennis look as effortless as Roger Federer does. Effortless, the key word. He is so smooth with it, especially the backhands, man. Oh my gosh. It's insane. Matt, sometimes not taking a trade is a trade. Yeah, completely agree. You guys have heard me say this time and time again. Not taking a trade is a trade. All right, stock market is now retesting its previous all-time high. Question is, can we hold or do we break below? If we're gonna reject, this is what we've seen previously. From around this candle, this candle that we're currently in, this 4-hour candle. That's what's happened over the past few days. The only thing to consider, though, is that before rejecting, we wouldn't have a red candle. And so what you're looking at here is the potential reverse. That's why I'm not super eager to short here. Because I have my active positions in this market. I am Mr. Comfy, as you guys like to say. Macron just pumping. Micron pumping. My apologies. Micron. Can you give us a recap of what you're looking for to take your next trade? To take my next trade. That will be shared in the group. Hi Matt, can we have multiple exchanges sign up with me, like Bluffin and Kraken at the same time? Yeah, of course. Manly's Barbecue. You can use all the links in the description down below. You can have multiple signed up if you want to. I have a lot of people that, for example, joined on Kraken and then they wanted to go to Bluffin, or they joined on Bluffin and then they wanted to go to Kraken. Yeah, for sure. Whatever you prefer. We have tons of options down below. Even 2-bit is a pretty solid option. And I noticed that they have a pretty good campaign going around, so maybe that one could interest you as well. Mr. Comfy. And in the bull market, we will be comfy in our longs. Just not yet, guys. Not yet. I was a billionaire, started trading crypto, and now I'm a millionaire. Bit of dumpy price action. Cheese Bubbles. Cheese Bubble says, "Hey bro, can you stream later? I'm busy right now. Thanks." My man, who do you think you are? I'm gonna be busy later. Maybe we get a retest on SpaceX. I'm ready to short. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. How do I short SpaceX on Bluffin? Yeah, exactly, guys. So you go here. See, it's USDTM, and you just search up SpaceX. Check it out. So, like, Bluffin has a lot of stocks. Like, you can do Macron. This is where I took my most recent loss. You can do so many different cryptocurrencies, guys, and different assets. You can do gold. One of you guys mentioned gold. Let's talk about gold, which you can see we're getting a little bit of a rejection here after pumping massively. We've had a really nice move on gold, actually. The thing to consider here, though, check it out. Check it out. Stocks are trying to hold above all-time high. The thing to consider here, though, is something that we've been talking about on the channel at length, which is stablecoin dominance. So stablecoin dominance is still looking very, very bullish, guys. Check it out. So if this pops up, that coincides with Bitcoin's next move, but we can chop around for a while. And naturally, if we look at the dollar is starting to look like it's pretty strong. We actually drew this out. Check it out. Check it out. So the chart I just showed you for stablecoin dominance is starting, it looks like the dollar could be playing out in the same way. And what this looks like is basically you drop, you create a little bit of a base, and then you retest a significant pivot multiple times. You fail multiple times, but then you start creating higher lows and you pop up, you come back down for a retest, and right now we are on literal support for the dollar. So this could very well pop up, and you know what happens when the dollar pops up. It is usually not great for risk assets. So I'm keeping an eye on this for sure. So some of you that ask if I look at other things for my analysis, the answer is yes. The dollar, stablecoin dominance. Holy smokes, Macron is pumping. I think you guys, someone said 50% retracement for fib, right? Yeah, right under 1,000, you have that 50% retracement. Right now, stocks still trying to hold. Bitcoin still holding up okay. Rick Ty, first TP on Micron. My apologies, Carolina Fleming. I've been saying Macron. I mean to say Micron. The Bitcoin fooling around continues, legends. Now we drop below. Nino says, Matt, I am out of my short with excellent profit now. I feel like SPCX, SpaceX will retest 148 again. Support will be 140. It's possible, guys. It's totally possible. The more I look at this, the more annoyed I get. But what can you do? We've been doing this so many times for Bitcoin. It's getting kind of frustrating. Check it out. You have a high. You don't manage to sweep the high. Then you come down. You have a high. You just don't manage to sweep the high. I don't know, guys. This is not easy price action. That's why sometimes in the community we'll also look at other assets. Like I don't just trade Bitcoin, right? This is not easy. Because how many times have you seen us sweep the high and then get a rejection? But multiple times here, we're just not sweeping the highs. My gosh. Again, it's doing it again, guys. You don't manage to make a high and you reject. Unreal. Unreal that it's doing it again. Is this the retracement we've been talking about on the 4 hour? Or does Bitcoin have something else in store for us? Unreal, we're doing it again. We don't manage to make a high. We don't manage to sweep the high. We don't manage to grab all of the upside liquidity that was right above the current prices. And then we get rejected. Wow. I mean, guys, I'm happy if we dump, but like, it's crazy. Legends, if you want to see how I've been trading this market day by day, week by week basis as a swing trader, remember you have the first link in the description down below. We also still have our long open from $58,000. I've taken a lot of profits on this. It's up around 90K, but we've been getting the Pico tops and bottoms, really. But right now, this is a diddling in the middle zone. Just Frankie, what up, man? How are you doing? Trying to hold on to that uptrending anchored VWAP, guys. Still trying to hold on. Soul Stasher says, I got stopped out on my pump fund short. I thought I had a generational top. Bro, what are you talking about generational top? Are you serious? Look at the chart. How could you call this a generational top? If we go down to 62.5, I'll probably long as well. Not gonna lie. That's how I shared it in the group where I plan to go long. Legends, this is an absolute snooze fest on the charts. So far, what we talked about in the community was SpaceX for a short right here, literally right here. I know a lot of community members got into it. I unfortunately did not, but we pointed out that opportunity for a good cheeky short. Position should be protected. Profits could already be taken as well from this pivot. And if we keep on getting acceptance below here, there's a chance that we just crumble down here. But this position should already be protected. My trades are as such. Big Bitcoin short still very much intact, guys. I'm going to add to this position if I get the opportunity to do so. My Tau short still very much in that position as well. That one's up around 90K. Long from the lows, another Bitcoin short, and another Bitcoin short as well. So honestly, these positions have not changed. The SpaceX one we talked about yesterday, it ended up being a pretty good opportunity. You got like a 5, 10, maybe no, 5% move with leverage. Let's see. Yeah, almost 7% move with leverage. So this was a solid one. If I get a retest, I might consider taking on that short, but for now the trade has started, so there's nothing I can do. And all of these trades that you're seeing, guys, were shared within the community. So if you'd like to join, and especially if there's any price movements when I'm not streaming, because tomorrow will be a video update, just DM me the keyword BTC on Telegram to be able to join my group. It's where I share all of my own personal trades and my overall market analysis. It's been a little bit of a snooze fest today, guys, but yesterday we did a 6-hour stream. Today we're at it for just over 3 hours. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, make sure to join the community if you haven't already, and I will see you in tomorrow's video update. Talk soon.